keep ourselves in wudu, keep ourselves in energy. Every type of hadith we just posted, that the hadith for calamity is to give right away, give sadaqah, give charity right away to take away any type of calamity, any type of difficulty. Keep yourself in wudu, make your salawats, take the app and recite the salawats, recite the du'as. Sit at home and recite the Arabic salawat book. The green book has the Urdu if you speak Urdu, even if you don't it has the transliteration, and just keep reciting and reciting and reciting. All of them are an immense najat, immense salvation from every type of difficulty, and shayateen cannot take the presence of salawat. Whatever type of shayateen is trying to attach itself to people to make them and increase their sickness, to make them to become sicker and sicker and sicker, its salvation, its release is in the durood al-sharif. So if you know Arabic you should be sitting there and having a mawlid in your house by yourself, reciting your salawats all the time, all the time, all the time. That immensity of light brings the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. We talked last night on wudu, things that for me are just common sense from my training but may not be common for people. Means that in the understanding of wudu, some people think they don't have to have wudu at home. That wudu is for like when you go to the market, you go to the mall, you do whatever you want when you're home, doesn't matter. And some people think they don't have to cover at home. I'm home, I don't have to cover. Look, you're from dunya or you're from people of akhirah. If you're from people of akhirah, there's more people in your home than there are people outside, and they're all pious. All the shaykhs, all the awliya, all the saliheen, all the jinn, mu'min jinn that are men in your home too. Why you're not covered in your home? So it means this world of malakut is not something normal people understand. So they say, oh we can be relaxed. There's no time to be relaxed. Right now everything is under attack. You should always keep the cover, because the lowest form of your understanding of cover is that you don't want the opposite gender to be attracted to you. But this is not what the reality of the cover was only for, that's the lowest understanding. The highest understanding is they're taking your energy, that whatever comes to you its climax and the pinnacle of your being. We said before, you are two triangles, your lower triangle and your upper triangle. The upper triangle is your Islam, your Iman wal maqam al ihsan. So tanzila, whatever Allah is sending of emanation is coming and dressing upon to dress the upper part of your reality. This is the house of the soul, this is the house of Allah in the heart. So it means if your upper reality is always being tanzil, always being dressed, all emanations are directed towards the heart. They're moving into the heart, they're moving into the being to dress the holy crown of creation which is the head. Right? If there's a light in the heart they shine on their face. So your two major organs, your heart is the sun, your face and head is a moon. So who's going after what? Shaitan is going after your heart and to destroy your moon. Somebody else asked, why do these scholars have marks all over their head and dark faces? Oh, because they read Qur'an and they don't understand it. When Allah said, we will see them and you will know them by the mark on their forehead, not the self-inflicted charcoal burns that they burn charcoal onto their forehead to make they have like sujood. You seen the burn mark? That's not the mark Allah was looking for. This is the mark of the piety in which Allah gave a nur into their heart, and like a spotlight a light comes out of their head. You'll know them if you have sincerity, because your heart sees a nur on their face. On Yawm al-Mashar all of creation will look at them and think that they're looking at the lights of Allah, looking at the lights of Sayyidina Muhammad. because of the immensity of the nur that coming from their head, from their forehead and from their right hand. So when we know that the heart is the house of Allah and this house is going to be known by the Muhammadan haqqaiq, when Allah described, I created this creation in my image. What's Allah's image? Muhammadun Rasulullah. Allah has no Shaykh. That's all this training. The closest you'll understand to what the Shaykh and to the form or to the understanding of Allah is called Muhammadun Rasulullah. When I created creation in my image, means this insan and the haqqaiq of insan and what Allah gave to it of a Divinely nature. That I'm going to send the emanation into your heart. Your Islam is the foundation of your upper triangle. Your Islam is your source of knowledge of the heavens. Your Iman is a faith and is the holiness and good deeds. So then your religious practice should develop a faith within your heart, firm, two solid structures on the ground, that the pinnacle of it should be maqam al-ihsan, in which you see Allah. And if you don't see, then know Allah see you in everything, these lights then illuminating from your head. Remind me about the hijab part that we started. From there then they ask, with these lights coming, all this reality coming, my son asked me, what do you define as holiness? Because everyone has an answer for holiness. Holiness is that which improves your soul. You have to have a belief in a soul, in a light, in a being given by God. And what is defined as holy? Is that when you believe in your soul and that which improves your soul and builds your soul, that is holy. Not a man say he's holy, not following him says it's holy, but what are you doing that benefits your soul? And the most powerful benefit for your soul are selfless acts of charity. Something you don't think you have a benefit in, more than your salah. Your salah is for you. Your salah was not that Allah gave you. We've given the talk on the usuls and the pillars of Islam. The salah was not the reward. Allah ordered salah so you would be a good person and be charitable and be loving and kind, so that your character would be blossoming and showing. So what Allah wanted was the good acts. Why? So that you become holy, not that you become pray. You walk around, I pray, I 3000 rakahs. No, this wasn't the benefit. That's why then if you define that to my son, that's not what makes you holy. Because there's Daesh that pray a lot, but they were putting everybody in cages and God forbid trying to burn them. This wasn't the act. The acts that we do, the pillars of Islam were meant to be a character and khuluq. فَأَدَبَنَ رَبِّي فَأَحْسَنَ تَهْذِيبِ. Allah sent me with the best of character and to teach manners, and gave me the best of character. Why? Because I did my salah, I did my zakah, I did my hajj, I did my fasting, I did them in such a sincere way, my character is exemplary. Prophet is teaching for us. So with this good character we become holy. Why? Because we're doing these principles. Say, Baba, pray, do all these things so that you'll have a humbleness in your life, and you sort of leave your head low to the ground, understanding people's needs, people's wounds, how to talk with people, not to offend, not to hurt, not to overstep your boundary. Everyone should know when they act with people, they should know their limit and not go beyond that limit, and not to hurt and offend people. That's why we prayed. We went for hajj to see the massness of our community, There is not one nation superior. Look at Allah brought the whole of mankind. Hajj is an example of Judgment Day, where you fear, you can't get close, you're following around, you're struggling to make your tawaf, you're tired. Allah's reminding, how are you going to do that? How are you going to survive my Judgment Day? You're just getting tired on Hajj and scared on Hajj. So all of these were for examples. Why? So that the good character would shine. And how we know we became holy or we're moving in a direction of holiness is what I do on a daily basis to the benefit of my soul. And are my acts becoming more and more selfless or selfish, where everything has to be about me? I have to have a benefit in it. Do I gotta feed people and support to feed people where I don't want to benefit? That's why Prophet described for us, yatim is most beatific. Why? Because you deal with men, give them talks, maybe they're all businessmen, they're going to give you donations. But deal with kids who have no home, what they're going to do for us? Means an act of charity and goodness and good character and loving for those whom they don't have the ability to defend themselves. This is what then makes the person to be holy. Not that they prayed a lot. When people want to come and accompany you and look, so how much you praying? Are you praying a lot? You don't look like you're praying a lot. Sayyidina Umar was following one of the companions, the Prophet described this one, he achieved paradise and followed him for this hadith is a long story. Followed him and then after 3 days the Sahabi asked, "Well, Ya Umar, what do you want? You're sort of sitting in my house looking at me all the time." So, "I want to know why Prophet described that you're in paradise already and why you achieve these maqams, and I don't see that you're doing anything different than what we are doing." He said, "No, I just learned every night I forgive everyone. Whoever's harmed me I'm forgiving them. Ya Rabbi, don't let me hold rancor in my heart." Means he was giving an example of character, not of an action he did, but his action was of a character nature. I forgive people and I pray that they forgive me in return. That earned paradise. So we're all struggling to be holy, and our holiness is going to be defined on what we're doing with our soul. What am I doing is building my soul, and my soul its food and its energy are in acts that are selfless and not based on myself. And this love for Sayyidina Muhammad and doing a mawlid and holding a mawlid, supporting the mawlid, giving food out for the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, giving charity to people, food to people. Those acts are what gives Allah satisfaction. When Allah's happy, the soul becomes holy. Not by people giving a title to somebody, this one is Sultan, this one is… you don't know who anyone is. Titles are only from Allah, and those are from the actions that most people don't even see between the servant and Allah. But you should see the holiness in their character and in their deeds. So with that light, with those realities, you're building your heart, you're building all of these energies. You don't think that the crown of your creation, your head, your whole salah, the power of your salah is in your sujood. The power of your prayer, the pinnacle of your salah is in prostration. We talked before about it. It's not when you stand upright. That's the least powerful position because you're standing up in the presence of Allah. So that's your station of ihtiram and respect. What Allah loves dearest in the servant is his sujood. As soon as he goes into prostrations, he's nearest to Divinely Presence and Allah's listening at that point. So it means then the crown in which he's giving, the grace and emanation and the beauty and the dressing he's giving, that's why sujood is so dear to Allah. Because I made you like royalty, I chose you above my angels, my jinn and all creation. Because you're in the Shaykh, in the form of Muhammadun Rasulullah.